Welcome back everybody to the Cirque Show 24/7. This is season 5, episode 3 of AMC's The Walking Dead, entitled Four Walls and a Roof. So let's get right into it. Alright guys, this season, man, so far season 5 is batting 1,000 for me. I'm liking it. I'm enjoying every bit of season 3 because it's just so fast paced. They're not dwelling on anything. They're not they're not staying in one spot. They're not like they're just going. They just keep going in each episode. It's so fast paced, and that's what I'm liking. So far, like I said, they're batting 1,000, and this episode was really good. And it just shows like how badass like Rick and his group is, and like how good they are in this like zombie apocalypse, or just how good they are in this apocalypse. It's just crazy to me, and it's mind blowing. But let's get into Bob now. Bob, we end up finding out that Bob actually does get bitten when he's at like the grocery when they go to like the little market for like a supply run. He actually does get bitten when he goes underwater. He gets bitten in the shoulder. Gareth and his group end up finding out that they might have eaten tainted meat, but we don't really know. But his group kind of freaks out a little bit. They end up throwing Bob back off to the church with Rick and them. They end up finding Bob, and Bob kind of tells them like what's happening and stuff like that, and like what Gareth is talking about, and what his plan is, and how he wants to just pick off each individual in Rick's group. So what's good about that is it gives Rick the motive to just go full Rick. Like when you go full Rick, it's just crazy. Like he's crazy when he goes full Rick, and I love watching Rick go full Rick, and it's so badass. So they have a great plan in how they devise to get Gareth and his group back and like really end them at once. So that was really good, just to really find out like what their plan is, and how they like left the church, and how they kind of double back and kind of ambush Gareth, because Gareth and his group thought that they were going to ambush Rick. It was very smart, and you can tell like why Rick is the leader, and he comes up with these great plans. So I like that part in this episode, and I like that, and it really shows like how smart Rick is and his group in this apocalypse, and how like they're not like BSing anymore. Like they're not taking any chances with like people. So I like that. I do love the fact that we got a little confrontation with like Rick and Abraham, because when you think about it, Rick is the leader of his group, and he's always been the leader, and he has and people listen to what he has to say, and whatever Rick says, it goes. That's just instilled in everybody. But I was thinking about it, like Abraham was the leader of his own group. You know what I mean? He's a leader of his own group, and he has a lot of opinions on everything. So I like the fact that they were clashing on this whole Washington thing, and how Rick didn't want to leave Daryl and Carol behind, and he made great points. Like Carol just saved you, and you were talking about leaving her, but it was just the heat of the moment. I don't think Abraham was thinking all that clearly. He was trying to leave at night, where like danger is just lurking at night. So I don't think he was like really thinking that much, but he did get kind of persuaded a little bit, and he did come to like a agreement with like Maggie and Glenn. Like you give them 12 hours to like figure out that crap, and then you two have to come with us. So I thought that was kind of smart on Abraham. Me personally, I would have asked for like the I don't know, Maggie and Glenn. They're good and stuff, but they're not that badass. Like if you're gonna be with like Eugene and Rosita and Abraham, I think Abraham needs to be a little bit more smart. You should have got like Michonne. You could have waited at 12 hours. You could have got Daryl. You could have made something. I would have picked Michonne, Daryl, Carol, something. Maggie and Glenn. I don't know. That was just I don't really. It's apples and oranges, people. You can't really compare it like that. You know what I mean? So. But like I said, I do like the fact that Abraham did kind of step up to it, and he took a stand for what he believed in, and his whole idea of like going to Washington and like saving the human race. So he was very persistent on that, and he didn't let Rick like sway him or anything, and he didn't back down from Rick. So I like that kind of confrontation. So that was really good. But let's get into like the good stuff. Like I said, Rick and his group, they end up doubling back. to the church. Like they end up tricking Gareth and making Gareth think that Rick and them are actually going out looking for Gareth. So Gareth ends up sneaking to the church, and it was a very intense scene. And you didn't know how it was gonna go at first. And at first I was thinking like, man, this is kind of stupid. Like Rick basically left with like the biggest guns and stuff. He left with all the guns and to go get Gareth, and he left like the children and the kids there to not really protect it. So it was interesting, and then it happened, and I was like, okay, Rick is super smart. You know what I mean? So I love the fact that they're learning from their mistakes, and they ambushed Gareth and his group, and it was just done perfectly, and Rick fulfilled his promise. And I love the fact that Gareth was actually begging and stuff, and Rick blew off half his hand at first. It was everything about that scene was good. It was intense, and I love the fact that Rick killed Gareth with the machete, because that's what he said he was going to kill Gareth with, was a freaking machete. So I was glad that they zoomed in on that machete, and he didn't even pull it out. As soon as they zoomed in on it, I was like, I know what that is, and I know what's about to go down. So I thought that was really, really cool. I love the fact that Michonne got her sword back, even though last week she said she doesn't really miss it. When she picked up that sword, she was like, okay, this is a lot easier. This sword is a lot easier. Because like keep hitting people repeatedly with the gun, that takes too much time. Like Michonne is just she's a slice and a stabber. Like in and out, in and out. She's in and out. You know what I mean? So I love the fact that she got her He-Man sword back, and she looked very powerful with it as soon as she got it. So I love the fact that she got it back. But at the end of this episode, or before we get to the end of this episode, I do want to talk a little bit about you know the pastor. The pastor, we do find out a little bit more about the pastor and what his deal was when the whole zombie apocalypse, like, happened and stuff, and what everything was about, and what he did to the people, and like how he didn't really let anybody in, and he just locked all the doors and stuff, and so that's why all the scratches and stuff. So we find out like what's really troubling him and what his whole deal was. So it seems like he can be trusted. He's just a coward. So hopefully he can, being with Rick's group, he can kind of toughen up a little bit. So that was good to just get to know. Even I knew what it was, but just for that confirmation of him saying it out loud to the group, so the group knows where he stands with everyone else. So I really, really liked that. Like I said, it's not too much I didn't like about this episode. I thought it was funny that Sasha was actually the one that actually finished the job that Tyrese could not finish, and she actually killed the guy that Tyrese was supposed to kill. And it was a good thing she killed him before Carol came back. If she comes back, I don't know, but because if Carol would have saw him, it would have been a different story. Because Tyrese told Carol that he killed her, or he killed him, and he didn't kill him. So it was good that Sasha actually finished the deal, and she made sure that guy stayed dead. We did have a great scene with Bob, like a great little farewell scene. It was nice. It was good. I really enjoyed it. Bob's gonna be missed. He played a great part in this show, and he played his part really well. He wasn't annoying or anything. He was good. It's sad for him to go, but he did go out like a trooper. He did go out on his terms. So it was nice. It was a very nice moment for everybody to get that final goodbye with Bob. So I really, really enjoyed that. We do get the fact that now that the group is split off again. We got Rick and his group, and then we got Abraham and his like little group and stuff, and they're heading to Washington. But are they going to get to Washington in time, or are they going to get stopped? So that's what I'm looking forward to see. Are they actually going to get to Washington before Rick and them, or are they going to have to stop and they're going to end up meeting Rick again? So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But at the end of this episode, we do see that Daryl comes back, but we don't know who he's with. So we don't know if Carol's with him, or we don't know if what's the name's with him. We don't know. We really don't know. So I'm excited to see what happened and who's actually with who's actually with Daryl, and what happened when he went to go try to find Beth. And is she a changed person? Did she get killed, or did he actually rescue Beth and then and Carol died? We don't know because they didn't show us. So I'm super excited, and I'm just mad that they didn't show us. You know what I mean? So what do you guys think about this episode? Did you like this episode? Do you think it was, do you like the fact that they're moving so fast and they're not really dwelling on these storylines? They're just in and out with like these storylines. I really enjoy it. So what do you guys think about this episode? Please like this video, comment, subscribe, tell me what you thought. And as always, this is the Cirque Show 24/7. Be easy.